not only thrilled, I am so excited about the prospects for this country right now that I can't stand it. The Dow Jones Industrials today dropped 178 points. Not so happy about that. But we are seeing an economy in recovery. It's fragile, it's delicate, and cannot withstand ideologues and fools who happen to have the title congressman or congresswoman or senator. We've got 35 million people who need a job. They're either out of work or they're working part-time, looking for full-time work. We're being told this is the new normal, and I want to tell you right now, the hell with anybody who says that. We have an obligation to start building a destiny and a future for young people in this country. And I mean building as in hard work, in sweating, and going through the frustration, even the disappointments that the next year or two will bring. But it's time for all of us to commit to ensuring one another's rights, one another's opportunity, and to insist that those we elect to Washington, D.C. represent all of us and all of our fellow citizens around this country. And remind each and every person, whether he or she sits in the Oval Office, the Capitol, and either the House or the Senate, yes, including the judiciary, that not one of us is as smart as all of us, and that's why God gave us democracy. No one has to tell anyone in South Florida about all of the issues that are confronting the economy, whether it's the housing market, whether it's international trade, and $7 trillion in external debt, trade debt, or almost $14 trillion in national debt. For the first time in my professional life, more Americans identified one top priority for government. And guess what that exciting issue is? It is sexy, it's sensational, it's incredible, it's going to play well in Peoria, but it's going to make things tough in Washington. The American people have now moved the deficit reduction issue to number one. I didn't think I would ever see this day, but it tells you we're growing up as a people, a nation, and yes, our generation is starting to take responsibility. We have the foundation to build a new era of prosperity in this country. We've got to get to work to do it. We have that capacity, but we've got to shun those who would lead, who run this country down, who apologize for this country. And I will tell you frankly, I can't imagine why anybody would apologize for a country that has created more than half of the wealth generated in this world over the past 50 years. I can't understand why anybody would apologize for a nation that has stood up over that time and innovated and created more technology and continues to innovate in technology more than any other nation on the face of the planet. I can't imagine why the country that produced the 8-hour workday, I like that, I just haven't experienced it. conditions all across the world. The industrial might that we've generated, the wealth that we've created for ourselves, and as I say, much of which we've squandered. Why would we apologize for a country that is the most racially and religiously and ethnically diverse nation on the face of the earth? How is it that we get to a point where people talk about illegal immigration and they equate illegal immigration with being anti-Hispanic? I'll tell you one reason is it's worked in group and identity politics, which we permitted. We permitted the hyphenization of America. And I'm here to tell you, I won't do it again. It just isn't going to work with me ever again. An American is an American. And that's all the information I need. We have economic challenges. We happen to have societal challenges. We have geopolitical challenges. We have challenges of leadership in this country right now. At a time when we need a president standing up and giving positive direction and leadership, we have something else. When we have an extraordinary need for the intelligence and the principle of representation within the Congress of the United States and the Senate of the United States, I can honestly say I'm beginning to see the glimmer of the possibility of a hope for a change. When we need leadership, where are our CEOs? Where are the leaders of big corporations? Where is small business? Where are they? I know where this Chamber of Commerce is. I know where the National Federation of Independent Business is. I know where the Business Roundtable is. But where are the CEOs from which we have drawn such terrific leadership over the course of this country's history? Business leaders, community leaders. We need to change direction. And we need a media that re-examines its perspective. One of the most fascinating things I've seen of late was this little exchange between Keith Olbermann and Ted Koppel. My Lord. Neither one of them got the joke.
They both joked.
There is no room for a national liberal media that is so aloof that it does not have to be candid about its biases, its political voice. One of the chief changes has been in national media, I think, since 2007 that they could choose sides. And in 2007, the national liberal media did. Instead of applying critical judgment to public policies, irrespective of the party, irrespective of the person, our national liberal media has proved itself over the course of the past 2 years to be a pink poodle at a time when we need a fierce watchdog. I think I'd better apologize right now to the pink poodles. Folks, it's what we've tolerated, it's what we put up with. I am delighted to say to you, on November 2nd, it's pretty clear. We've sent notice that that one-party rule thing, whether Republican or Democrat, isn't such a hot idea. And we're not going to put up with it. And, guess what else? We mean for our elected officials to get to work and start earning their salaries. Quit playing games with wedge issues and nonsense and get back to representing the most decent, hardworking, successful people on this planet. And you've got to demand it. And I'll be delighted to help you do so. Thank you very much.
Humana, Access Medical Labs, and the Howard K. and Associates Group for sponsoring this event. Thank you. And I got to get to one that came up over and over again. Let's get it out of the way. Are you ready for president in 2020?
I'm pleased and proud to tell you, after convening several exploratory committees, after due deliberation and, as one paper or two put it, retreating to our place in West Palm Beach to consider my political... When journalists are using that, he retreated to their house in Florida. You know, you're being taken pretty seriously. Because I don't retreat from a damn thing. The answer is, I'm joining Fox Business News. I'm delighted to be with Joyce Kaufman and all of our colleagues at WFTL. And it's nice to go home. No, the only thing I have to worry about is whether my wife approved or disapproved of my performance that day. Well, you know what I mean. She's a harsh... Where is my wife? Where are we? Oh, look at that. Look at... Stand up, would you, babe, please? Deb and I have been married almost 30 years.
No.
And I got to tell you, this is just like home. She's got a little throne over there. Love you, babe. Anyway, I'm just delighted to tell you that my wife would not approve of a political campaign of any kind, so I have to drop out despite everything. We thought about it very carefully, and we decided, well, the first thing we decided was I wasn't qualified. And then we decided we didn't want to do it. So when I started telling people who had been urging me to run, I said, I don't think we're going to go that way. One of the things that's kind of critical here is I just don't believe I'm qualified. And they said, this is a serious response. They said, perfect. That would be the ideal candidate. That is a true story.
You've kind of lowered the bar there.
No, meaning we don't want politics.
Okay, I have a question from Ross in Broward County. He said, what has been the biggest change for you giving up CNN and devoting all your attention to radio, although now with the Fox Business Network you're going to go back?
The biggest change was happiness.
I was happy.
In my latter era at CNN, I was in decidedly uncomfortable territory with management. I'm trying to be politic here. I'm practicing. This is the way I would have talked had I run. Management was a little... Well, let me put it this way. I applied critical judgment and criticized the public policies of George W. Bush. I, in fact, on occasions probably got a little personal with President Bush because I felt strongly about some of his public policies that were, I thought, horrendous and not of the national interest. I said pretty much the same thing about some of the policies of President Barack H. Obama. And I'm not suggesting there's cause and effect here. But it was about a year ago this week that I left CNN. I want you to know this, though. They did pay for the privilege.
Yeah.